Wow, friends, this is surprising news. New data has just been released. Tax refund checks are now being sent out to millions of Americans, and that amount is much higher so far. Experts also say that Social Security beneficiaries have a few new reasons to file taxes this year. My dear friends, please do me a big favor and watch until the end of this video. Also know that every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. Do make sure that you click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways.
The Senate gavels back into session with a lot that Congress must do, but with little time to act. In less than a week, the federal government will begin to shut down unless both sides work together to extend funding. Meanwhile, the moral obligation for Congress to help the people of Ukraine and fortify our own national security grows heavier with each passing day. And it's imperative that we make real progress in the coming weeks towards our ultimate goal of finishing the appropriations process. These are just a few of the tasks facing Congress as winter turns to spring. The margin for error on any of these is razor thin. And unfortunately, the temptation to choose chaos and disorder instead of cooperation will be strong for some here in the Capitol. By now, it is clear that when serious-minded Democrats and serious-minded Republicans engage each other with a desire to get things done, with a desire to get to yes, good things happen, even in divided government. We avoid shutdowns. We invest in the American people. We make our country stronger. The Senate ended the last work period with a powerful example of bipartisanship by resoundingly 70 votes passing the National Security Supplemental. It wasn't easy to get it done, but now that we succeeded, it should serve as a model for both chambers moving forward. Over the recess, negotiators in both chambers continue the difficult work of the appropriations process. While we've made some good progress on a number of fronts, unfortunately, our House Republican colleagues are still struggling to figure themselves out. There's a lot of uncertainty over how the House will proceed in the coming days. So I ask all senators to keep their schedules flexible. Now, Senate Democrats have been crystal clear. We want to avoid a government shutdown. We want to work with all our House counterparts to spare the American people of the pain that a shutdown would bring. But for that to happen, congressional leadership must resist the centrifugal pull of extremism emanating from the hard right. We must resist basing our choices on what people like Donald Trump want Congress to do. We need to remember our responsibility to the American people and do our jobs. Even a partial shutdown would mean chaos and pain for the American people. And let me just list a few examples of why that's true. A shutdown of the Agriculture Department would threaten higher food costs for all Americans, threaten critical services for farmers and rural communities, from home ownership programs to food banks, and delay access to critical programs just as spring is arriving.
The Internal Revenue Service announced that this year's tax refunds are larger compared to last year, which could be good news for Americans who rely on these refunds to manage their finances. The average tax refund as of February 16th is $3,200, which is 2.1% higher than last year. This increase in refunds comes after a dip in 2023, when refunds were lower due to the expiration of crisis tax benefits. However, this year, many taxpayers are seeing bigger refunds because the IRS adjusted its provisions for inflation. This adjustment raised the standard deduction and tax brackets by about 7% for the 2023 tax year. According to a recent poll, workers whose incomes did not keep pace with inflation last year might receive refunds that are up to 10% larger. And these refunds are often used to cover essential expenses. But will tax refunds be higher in 2024? The IRS reports that, so far, The typical refund is indeed 2.1% higher than last year. However, there are still several weeks left in the tax season, so these numbers could change. But as for now, only about 34.7 million people have filed tax returns out of an expected 146 million. So whether you'll get a bigger refund in 2024 depends on various factors, such as your income and life changes like getting married or buying a home. Some people might owe more, especially if they did not pay quarterly self-employment taxes and taking on a side gig last year. As for when you can expect your refund, most electronic filers receive theirs within 21 days. Returns filed on paper forms take longer to process. The Internal Revenue Service recommends checking the status of your refund using the Where's My Refund tool on the IRS official website. According to Yahoo News, refund data is updated once per day, so there is no need to check more frequently than that. If you file electronically, you should see your status within 24 hours, while paper filers might have to wait up to 4 weeks. Your age, marital status, and income beyond Social Security benefits affect whether you must submit a tax return to the Internal Revenue Service, even if it's not required. Filing your tax return could be beneficial if you're eligible for refundable tax credits or want a refund for taxes paid during the year. The main reason to file, even if it's not mandatory, is to potentially receive a tax refund. If you had federal income tax withheld from your pay or made estimated tax payments in 2023, filing a return could result in a refund of any excess withholding. You should also consider filing if you qualify for tax credits that offer refunds, such as the Earned Income Tax Credit, Child Tax Credit, or Child and Dependent Care Tax Credit. The Earned Income Tax Credit is fully refundable, meaning it can increase your tax refund even if you don't owe any taxes. According to CNET, the Social Security Administration sends out a benefit statement, either by mail or online, detailing your benefits from the previous year. This statement includes earnings information that you will need if you end up filing a tax return. One way to understand whether your benefits are taxable is to consider gross income, which is your total earnings before taxes. Experts say you will need to file a return for the 2024 tax year if you are an unmarried senior, at least 65 years old, and your gross income is more than $14,700. You will also need to if you are filing a joint return with a spouse who is also 65 or older, and your gross income is more than $28,700. That is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. My dear friends, thank you so much for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, do make sure that you click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed week.